Okay, so I'm back home. So now I want to hopefully shortly deal with a very important subject, and this is something that I've talked about a lot in the past, and I'm not going to to repeat everything that I ever said on other stages, non-YouTube stages, but things that are of extreme importance. I try to summarize them now because I know that many people are only exposed to my point of view through the new for my part the YouTube stage. So it's important that I will outline the most important the most crucial subject. So let's start with the question. Well, Noam, you said that you want all the Titans to be released from the slavery in Israel, but you also said, that you think that the Titans in Israel, the female Titans, are disgusting, and you don't want anything to do with them. And you just you want to be freed, but it seems that like you really hate them. So how do you reconcile these two views? So the answer will be as following. For many months and even years now, I try to approach this issue, and I couldn't get to any to definite consequences. And I'm very honest about it. I'm honest about things that the questions that I'm dealing with, and my failure to reach conclusions on many important aspects of my life. And one of the aspects was how can you judge the women, the Titans that are in Israel? And eventually, the only conclusion is the one that I started with. Which is God should judge them. I cannot judge these creatures because most of them are terrible. Most of them are evil, and they did great offense to me. But on the same time, I know that they are kind of slaves in Israel, and they are enslaved by the Nazis of the worst kind. So it's every honest person or a person with a heart will agree that it's kind of a circumstance that works in their favor. But I might not be the judge of the Titans in Israel, but it doesn't mean that I need to make them part of my life. I see myself as the son of God, but also as a human being. I don't want snakes and reptiles to be part of my life. I don't want to get them inside my home and certainly not into my bed. And I think that just it's reasonable. So, are all of them snakes and lizards? No. There is a small minority out of them in Israel that are better than the rest, and they try to do all sorts of things, mostly without success. To do things that will change my situation for the better, mostly without any success, but at least they tried. And if you want to find this group of women, you need to search for the woman that that knew me, during my life, because not everyone that knew me was good. Many were bad, but most of the Titans in Israel, the female Titans, just ignored me all my life and just pretended that I do not exist, even though they knew very well of my existence and of the horrible things that are done to me. Now, why did they know about it? This is something that I need to explain for people that are new to the issue. You see, Titans, the female Titans in Israel, they cannot live their life like me in complete darkness. No one ever told me anything. Up to this point, I've never been approached by anyone, not a government official, not a friend, not a relative that spoke to me about the reality of my life. Everything I need to learn by myself, which is extremely difficult, of course, with a lot of siyata d'ishmaya, the help of God. But it's not possible for the Titan females, because they cannot have sex with males, Homo sapiens males, without direct consequences for the males and probably for them as well. So they have to be, if only for this reason, there are other reasons as well. But if only for that reason, they must be aware of their circumstances. I don't have any problem to have sex with any kind of woman, and I've done it with both Titans and Homo sapiens women, and so it's like, so the government could keep me in shadow, which is a tremendous psychological and physical abuse, but we will get to it in a short while. But they knew about the issue. They knew about themselves. They also knew about that there is a man that produces the neurons, what I call neurons. They knew it because in order for their biological function to work in a way that I admit that I do not understand until now. I just understand it's like a cycle. Maybe it is a cycle. I don't know. It's like this cycle that in order for it to work, it requires the material for my body. And I don't understand how it works. I mean, I have no clue how it works. I just do know that it's not essential for them probably to have this cycle working all the time. I mean, it's probably essential in order to have kids, but most of them do not have kids. I mean, with me, I mean, almost all of them. So I don't really understand when and why they need it, as I said many times, even today. But I do understand that in order for some kind of biological cycle for them to work, they need the material. And they knew that they get it from me. And they knew that I get nothing in return. More specifically, there is a way that until now I don't understand it precisely, and I honestly, I don't even want to know by that point, because I just want to get out of Israel. I don't care at all. Right? I mean, I was curious in the past, but now I don't even care. But there is a way to take some biological functions from them once they are giving them the neurons, the material that is taken from my body, and then to abuse it in a way. And this is one of the hobbies of the intelligence community in Israel, to abuse the stuff that they get from the Titan females. But they require my intervention in the process, because if the neurons that you've seen in your own eyes are not present in the body of the Titans, their cycle doesn't work. To the best of my knowledge, humans, Homo sapiens, do not consume the neurons that you've seen in your eyes directly, but maybe I'm wrong. Everything is possible in Israel. You must understand that this is a mad dog state, a state that is a mad dog. So the best, I mean, the course of action, it's not the best, it's the worst course of action that the Israeli chose during all my life, is to obscure everything for me, to hide all the facts for me, and just to treat me as a dog, as a robot that accepts commands that are implemented on him, imbued on him using violence and sound and terror and electricity and every kind of psychological terror you can imagine, for him to do whatever they want him to do, without even explicitly tell him what to do. Because according to their ideology, the best way to deal with me is to just shout commands at me and treat me like a dog, like an idiot, like a retarded person, like a little child that must be shouted command all the time, so I will do whatever they want. And the thing that they want the most is, of course, to get the stuff that you've seen in your own eyes for me, in order, to the best of my knowledge, to give them to their Titans, the Titan females. Maybe they also use it themselves. And as you've seen, this is a material with tremendous potency and tremendous functionality. Most of it probably these have no clue about it. They never, discovered it, and probably they didn't even bother to conduct any research. But they do know for certain that this material is needed by the Titan females, and that it is needed in order for them to do something biologically, like some kind of a cycle, maybe just a cycle, but some kind of a biological cycle that they are abusing. They take the stuff to themselves. I also know that I myself, theoretically, could receive this biological function from the Titans, and logic and basic morality dictates that I will be the one that receives it, because I'm the one that is giving the material. But I've never even tasted it in my life, not even one spoonful of magic. Never. To the point that I literally do not know what I miss. I don't know what's the effects of this material. I have no idea, really. I don't even care by now. I mean, I was curious in the past, and it really maddened me in the past that I never got, during all my life, even not one spoon of this. Even though I'm the sole person that is the generator of this material for all the Titans in Israel. And I haven't given even one spoon. And in the past, it was really, I was really mad about it. But now, I honestly don't care. I don't even know. I don't even want to know what's the effect of this on me. I just want to get out of this hell. I don't care. I know that I don't need it. It's not crucial for me to operate. I mean, it's not something that I need in order to live. I can live very well without any of it at all, and that's what I'm doing for the last 39 years, because I've never, no one ever gave me even one spoon of it. Now, of course, this sin is also in the hands of the Titan females, because they were, I mean, logically, they should have received the stuff from me directly, not using theft, but using normal relationship. If I agree, I mean, and they should have done their best to make me agree, I mean, like normal human beings. And of course, in return, to give me their own stuff, but it never happened. Most females Titans decided doing all their life to just ignore me completely, even though they knew that I exist and they knew that I'm being tortured all my life. There was just a little minority that even thought about me and agreed to participate in operations that arguably were very, I mean, very, I mean, they had very bad intentions behind them, but arguably some of them helped me because, I mean, it was because of this operation that I discovered, I mean, step by step, I discovered the truth. Because, I mean, how do I know so much about my life? Like, how can I tell you so much? I mean, if it wasn't for all these operations that, I mean, they always, I mean, they most of the time, with God's help, they failed. And from the failure and from the reactions of the people, I gradually understood what, I mean, the situation of my life. If no Titan female, I mean, ever, I mean, if all of them were refused to have any contact with me, which was the approach of most of the Titans, I would probably be stayed in the darkness until now. Because I mean, even the evil operations are required, I mean, as a straw to latch into, as something that I can evaluate and understand my life in its light, dark light as it might be. Now, so yes, the Titan females are evil, most of them in Israel, and they should be punished by God. But I repeat that I cannot really, I mean, I cannot judge them, because I know that they are slaves, and this is, I mean, it doesn't, I mean, allow them to do anything that they want, but it is some kind of, I mean, circumstances that works in their favor. Anyway, in their favor or not in their favor, I don't want these lizards and snakes near me, and certainly not in my bed, certainly not in my house. I am disgusted by these creatures. One thing that is not, I mean, directly related, but should be added as well because it's important. The situation currently is that, I mean, I'm being tortured. My daughters were taken from me. I cannot leave my home. I'm subject to draconian court procedure for crimes they did not commit. And at the same time, I refuse to give them the stuff that they want so much. And so they suffer. I mean, the Israeli security, I mean, the large intelligence community in Israel and defense system, they suffer, and they will continue to suffer. But it's very, I mean, if people abroad just look at the situation and think to themselves, well, it's not our business. I mean, if they want to suffer, I mean, by the hands of God or by the hand of the alien or whatever, I mean, whatever, the flying spaghetti monster, it's their business. They are crazy. We know that Israelis are crazy. They were always crazy. But, I mean, that's their business. We don't need to intervene or and especially we don't need to use force, which will, I mean, put our sons and daughters in danger for these crazy people. I mean, let them deal with the Son of God or with the alien in whatever way they please, and I mean, they should suffer the consequences. And I know that many people in the global intelligence community think along those lines. I mean, it could be explicitly or implicitly, but I must say that I condemn this line of thought very harshly. The people of the earth will all be punished for what I'm now subject to, and every person in earth that knows about my situation should do everything which is in his or her power to release me and my daughters from the Israeli Nazi prison. You are not allowed, and you shouldn't wait for God to punish the Israelis until they just decided they can't, I mean, continue and presumably would someday agree to release me and my daughters. You cannot wait for that. You need to apply force, physical force, and to do everything that you can so I and my daughters will be released. And this is detached or without not directly related to the plagues that the Israeli population is subjected to and will continue to be subjected to.